Hello everyone, welcome to BYD Classes and welcome to the second session of Science and Technology Means 365 for 2023 UPSC IAS examination. So let's begin the discussion. So here we will understand National Quantum Mission. Why was it news? The National Quantum Mission received cabinet approval at a total cost of rupees 6,000 crore. So in budget 2022 there was the quantum computing mission was included, and it was enhanced that it is very necessary that the quantum computer in India is very crucial for new technology adoption as well as the boosting the information and communication technology in India. So what is the mission of quantum computing mission and what is the aim of this mission? To seed, nurture and scale up scientific and industrial research and create a vibrant and innovative ecosystem in quantum technology. And implementing agency is the Department of Science and Technology, and mission duration is from 2023 to 2031. And what are the targets of National Quantum Mission? Developing intermediate scale quantum computers with 50 to 1000 physical qubits in 8 years. So what is the qubit? In first session it was discussed there. Okay, so watch previous video. And satellite based secure quantum communications between ground stations over a range of 2000 kilometers within India and with other countries, and also intercity quantum key distribution over 2000 kilometers. And what are the challenges to this mission? Needs sustained finance for long term because of it is very risky to the government of India for this mission in terms of technology and new skill India, and underdeveloped research ecosystem and gaps in education and skill levels because of low enrollment in the higher education system, as well as the issues in the school level, which is low participation of private as well as government services, and low enrollment of both girls as well as boy in the primary sector or primary school education, and limited industry academia linkage, and poor research collaboration at national and international level. So keep this in mind. And what are the applications of this mission? Magnetometers with high sensitivity in atomic systems, and atomic clocks for precision timing communications and navigation, and design and synthesis of quantum materials such as superconductors, novel semiconductor structures, and topological materials for the fabrication of quantum devices, and single photon sources or detectors, and entangled photon sources for quantum communication, sensing and metrological applications. And what are the themes of this mission? The theme includes setting up 4 thematic hubs, that is T hubs, in top academic and national research and development institutes in the domain such as quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum sensing and metrology, and quantum materials and devices. And what are the significance of this mission? Taking technology advancement in the country to a globally competitive level and help various disciplines including communication, health, finance, and energy, and to establish a research ecosystem in and around quantum technology and global leader by taking an early advantage in developing the technology and harnessing the benefits, and will aid national security in areas such as optimized intelligence collection, encryption, stealth technology, and communications, etc. So keep this in mind. And conclude, you can conclude the about national quantum mission. National quantum mission is a giant stride in the future to realize its potential. A collaboration between businesses, universities, and government must happen. This will help address the financial and human resource gaps and at the same time aid in the creation of a national quantum research ecosystem. And next is the Nobel Prize in Physics. In 2022, the Nobel Prize was awarded in physics, and the scientists were including three scientists. Okay, and awardees, the prize was given Alain Aspect from France, John F. Clauser from USA, and Anton Zellinger, Australia. So remember these names. Okay, especially Alain Aspect from France, because uh, he led this initiative about the physical in the quantum experiments and quantum experiments and Bell inequalities. What is this? They demonstrated the potential to investigate and control particles that are in entangled state. Entanglement, you can remember from previous video. Okay, so you can watch previous video and get the entanglement concept, and laying the foundation for a new era of quantum technology. By measuring the property of one particle, we can immediately determine the result of an equivalent measures on the other particle without any check. Here you can watch this. You can see here the measuring a pair of entangled photon means in photon first. If one is red, then two must be blue, and in second photon, if one is blue, then second must be red. So it is important. So remember this concept. And they also demonstrated a phenomenon called quantum teleportation. What is this? The only way to transfer quantum information from one system to another without losing any part of it. So this is the quantum teleportation. And quantum teleportation uses features of entanglement which can be used to transmit or transport information carried by the object to another place where the object is then reconstituted. And Anton Zillinger group also demonstrated entanglement swapping, that is, two pairs of entangled particles that never met. And another important part of their research was their theoretical insight on Bell inequalities. And Bell inequalities makes it possible to differentiate between quantum mechanics inter indeterminacy and an initiative and alternative description using secret instructions or hidden variables. And here you can see the entangled particles that never met. Here two pairs of entangled particles 1, 2 and 3, 4 are emitted from different sources, such as source 1 is here and source 2 is this, and one particle from each pair, that is 2 and 3, is brought together in a special way that entangles and emitted from the sources, and two other particles 1 and 4 are the then also entangled. These are also emitted from the sources. And this way, two particles that have never been in contact become entangled. So they emit from different directions and no particles cut each other. And what is the significance of the work? Entangled quantum states hold the potential for new ways of storing, transferring, and processing information. It will have implications in constructing quantum computers, build quantum networks, and establish secure quantum cryptography, creating avenues for secure quantum encrypted communications. And these experiments and other similar experiments lay the foundation for research in quantum information science. QIS, that is Quantum Information Science, is an interdisciplinary field that seeks to understand the analysis, processing, and transmission of information using quantum mechanics principles. And quantum information science investigates several themes such as quantum information theory, quantum algorithms, and exemplary. And here the quantum teleportation. So you can pause the video and read one times or two times, and you can understand this process. Okay, and next is the quantum key distribution. Why was in news? Bengaluru based startup Q New Labs recently innovated advanced secured communication through quantum key distribution system. What is the quantum key distribution system? It is a secure communication technology that uses quantum physics to construct a cryptographic protocol. And quantum key distribution allows two parties to generate a shared secret key that can be used to encrypt and decrypt messages. That is, the messages can be encrypted or decrypted. In traditional cryptography, security is usually based on the fact that adversary is unable to solve certain mathematical problems, while in quantum key distribution, security is achieved through laws of quantum physics. So, traditional cryptography is unable to solve a certain mathematical problem, whereas quantum key distribution not solve mathematical problems, but it is achieved laws of quantum physics as well. And the working process of quantum key distribution. The quantum key distribution allows user to agree on a way of transmitting their data without the worry that someone is listening in. First process is the sender instructs satellite to generate two entangled photons of particular quantum, such as here this 2 and 3, and here it is 4, and photons are beamed to both ground stations, means this and this, and sender and receiver, this is sender and here these are receivers. Compare the quantum states of photons to check if they have been increased. If not, they use the photons to create a code to encrypt the data. Encrypted data can then be sent securely via conventional means. Here this is conventional means, okay, sending data with the encrypted proportion. So remember this process. And related concepts, that is the quantum communication. What is this? A highly secure link developed by Center for Development of Telematics, that is C. under Department of Telecommunications, was established for the first time in India. And quantum communication refers to communication channels that leverage laws of quantum physics to protect data and make it more secure than traditional transmission. And in traditional key based cryptography, data and keys are sent as classical bits representing 1 and 0, that is qubits. These are bit here using in quantum communication, but in quantum computing there is a qubit which is representing 0 and 1, and here it is representing 1 and 0, and as a stream of electrical or optical pulses. However, in a quantum communication network, data is transmitted via qubits. Yes, remember this. And quantum coherence, it is the ability of a quantum state to maintain its entanglement and superposition. You can watch previous video and learn these two concepts, that is entanglement and superposition. In the face of interactions, it deals with the idea that all objects have wave-like properties, and if an object's wave-like nature is split in two, then two waves may coherently interfere with each other in such a way to form a single state, that is a superposition of two states. And spin photon interfaces are elementary building blocks for quantum networks that allow converting stationary quantum information, namely photons, quantum information into light, namely photons, that can be distributed over large distances. And a major challenge is to find an interface that is both good at storing quantum information and efficient at converting it into light. And optically active semiconductors, quantum dots are the most efficient spin photon interface known to date, but extending their storage time beyond a few microseconds has puzzled physicists in spite of decade-long research efforts. And recent research provides a solution to the problem that improves the storage of quantum information beyond 100 microseconds. And quantum dots are a unique type of nanocrystalline semiconductor whose electronic and optical properties are dependent on the size and shape of the dots. For instance, in quantum dots, short coherence times were the biggest roadblock to applications in quantum technology. So remember this. And next is the 6G technology. It will replace the 5G technology which is currently is ongoing. What is 6G technology? It is the successor of 5G, which offers ultra low latency than the 5G network with speed up to 1 terabyte per second by using higher end of radio spectrum. And 6G enhances solutions based on artificial intelligence and machine learning extreme connectivity needs. What is 6G or application of 6G or 6G process? Ultra low energy and cost. Here these are the application of 6G. And ultra high bandwidth, ultra high precision, ultra high performance, and ultra high intelligence, ultra massive connectivity, and ultra low energy and cost. So remember these applications of 6G. What are the difference between 5G and 6G network? Obviously 6G network is very good than 5G. And the features of these 5G and 6G: frequency bands allocated for low band and high band frequencies, sub 6 GHz and above 24.2 GHz respectively, and 6G operative at the frequency range 95 GHz to 3 THz, and data rate 1 GB to 20 GB per second, here 1 terabyte, and latency end to end delay, here 5 milliseconds, here less than 1 milliseconds, and traffic capacity 10 Mbps per meter square, and here 1 to 10 GB per second per meter square. And what are the fields of applications? Fields of applications in e-health, e-education, technology, and entertainment. So in e-health, there are the robotics, surgery, online clinical treatment, and automated labs and pathology. And e-education, the digital schools, smart classes, real-time distance and education. And technology, high attitude platform systems and artificial intelligence or machine learning or internet of things platform and analytics engine. And entertainment, metaverse experience, real time gaming experience, and teleoperated driving experience, intelligent bots. So remember this. And significance of 6G technology: better connectivity. It will help in the provisioning of e-services for urban and rural populations and economic development by improving infrastructures and providing alternatives to rural exodus, mass urbanization and its related problems, and technological advancement. 6G will include non-terrestrial networks, which is a key development that enables conventional 2D network architectures to function in 3D space, and push for the industry's biggest use cases in terms of pushing Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. So remember, and what are the challenges associated with 6G technology? First is the a low investment on research and development. India spent just 0.7% of its GDP on research and development in 2020 compared to 2.4% in China and 2.3% in the European Union. And terahertz communication signal attenuates considerably in the air, restricting the transmission range and making it easily blocked by the obstructions and ensuring sustainability. While 6G promises growth, it will simultaneously have to be balanced with sustainability, as 6G devices can have a significant carbon footprint. And what will you conclude in the 6G technology? India has the necessary wherewithal to drive the 6G wave globally and leverage this powerful force multiplier to transform itself into a leading global supplier of advanced, relevant, and affordable telecom systems and solutions. And further, India must focus on aligning its research on technologies in the coming decade that would bolster and propel the implementation of 6G and assist us in efficiently allocating resources to ensure that India becomes a key role player in 6G technology implementation and adoption. And Bharat 6 mission, why it is in news? Recently, India released Bharat 6 vision document, which eyes 6G services rollout by 2030 and launched the 6G research and development test bed. And what is Bharat 6G vision? Vision document is prepared by the Technology Innovation Group on 6G, constituted in 2021 by Department of Telecommunication. And India will launch a 6G mission that holistically combines all associated technologies and supported by an adequate financial backup. And Bharat 6G mission will be divided into two phases, that is phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 2023 to 2025 and phase 2 2025 to 2030. And in phase 1, the ideation phase of understand the inherent potential and risk associated with the pathways ahead and test proof of concept implementations. And in phase 2, to conceptualizing and delivering potential technologies technology solutions to serve India and the global community. And an apex body is to be constituted to oversee the mission and approve the budget for the mission and lay down the phase-wise objectives. And this mission will oversee the project focusing on standardization, identification of spectrum for 6G, creating an ecosystem for devices and systems, determining finances for research and development. And key focus will be on new technologies such as terahertz communication, radio interfaces, tactile internet, artificial intelligence for connected intelligence, and new encoding methods and waveforms chipsets for 6G devices. And here the six pillars vision of 6G technology, that is the multi-platform next generation network, research and development finance, innovative solutions, identification of the spectrum, an ecosystem for devices and systems, and standardization. So remember these pillars of 6G vision. And recommendations of the task force to enable Bharat 6G mission. Innovative funding mechanisms under this to support industry, startups, academia, and national laboratories to undertake research and development and solutions through startups to address key verticals such as transport, water, power grid, and renewables, healthcare, education, digital twins, and smart cities, and rationalization of congested spectrum bands. Here, the adoption of captive networks for Industry 4.2 and enterprise use cases in hitherto less used bands, and fiber broadband under this to vary home and integrated dense wireless and optical network with wireless communications primarily serving mobile users. And next is the new multi-sensor man-machine interfaces and devices, leveraging edge cloud computing resources and artificial intelligence to deliver tactical internet ambience awareness and realistic 3D experiences. And others include the space terrestrial integration for ubiquitous coverage, combined communication, and sensing in sub-terahertz bands. Okay, so remember this about the Bharat 6G mission. What you can conclude this Bharat 6G mission, though 6G networks is still existent, but vision document ensures that India takes its rightful place in the world as a leading supplier of advanced telecom technologies and solutions that are affordable and contribute to the global good. Next is the 5G technology, and it is old technology that you can understand and you can relate with the 6G technology. Okay, so remember this 5G technology. And here the next is the 5G spectrum auction. Why it is in news? A record over 1.5 lakh crore worth of 5G telecom spectrum was sold in recently held auction. And what is the 5G? It is the radio frequencies allocated to mobile industry and other sectors for communication over the airways. And Union government owns various publicly available assets which also include airwaves. And Union government through Department of Telecommunications auctions spectrum from time to time. Operators around the world are most likely going to have to use a mix of low band, mid band, and high band spectrum to deliver the type of 5G experience that their customers demand. And about network slicing, the network slicing is a new network architecture that provides multiple logical networks on the same shared network infrastructure, and each logical network serves a specific service type or industry user. And benefits of network slicing: reduce the cost of constructing multiple private networks, provide highly flexible network services that can be scheduled and allocated on demand based on service requirements. So remember this about the network slicing. And what are the features of 5G spectrum? Low band, mid band and high band. Okay, so remember this. And about low band, will make it possible for operators to provide a wide swath of coverage, but speed and latency will only be incrementally better than 4G networks, and much of the 5G network performance will depend upon proximity to the cell site, and it is essential to build coverage in thinly populated areas and provide indoor coverage in built up areas. And under midband, that it considered ideal for 5G because it can carry plenty of data while also traveling significant distances. And high band, it delivers super fast speeds over short distances, that is low latency. And the application of the 5G spectrum, India requires more spectrum to capture the advantages of new opportunities for social and economic development. And spectrum is the foundational feature that will be needed for new mobile applications, particularly in areas such as education, healthcare, transportation, and commerce, and major flagship programs like Digital India and Smart Cities, and to overcome rural or urban disparities and bring content rich resources to underserved areas. Remember this about the significance of the 5G spectrum. And what are the challenges to tackle the 5G spectrum allocation in India? The first challenge is high spectrum cost, because the lower incentives to invest in network expansion and upgrades and can also significantly delay the rollout of new services. And in here, the high spectrum cost will be involved, and managing spectrum amid a new space race. Growing number of satellite projects has increased volume of new satellite system notifications submitted to International Telecommunication Union. All users of radio frequencies in space, whether by states or private entities, must be notified in International Telecommunication Union to comply with the radio regulation. And inadequate availability, it is argued that too much spectrum is occupied by Ministry of Defense and is also underutilized, creating an artificial scarcity of spectrum and policy uncertainty. Foreign investors might be reluctant in investing further due to delay in policies and uncertain and ambiguous market environment and inefficient usage. Less availability of spectrum in India, much lower than US and Europe, results in inefficient use of spectrum with fewer customers on one hand and congested networks on the other hand. And what is the way forward? Operators should be pre-informed about the availability of spectrum to enable them to take bidding decisions based on facts and information and not discretion. And next is the harmonization of spectrum at international, national as well as regional level. To avoid wastage of spectrum, and government must provide smooth approval processes, single window clearance to enable faster deployment of network and services, and government must make efforts to free up spectrum because it could help in meeting up the demands of the telecom service providers. And you can conclude the licensing approaches will affect the impact of 5G on societies and economies, and high 5G spectrum prices threaten affordable high quality mobile broadband services for 5G or other generations. And robust licensing approaches which prioritize mobile broadband services above revenue maximization are vital to delivering 5G for all and business and consumers, creating digital inclusion and lowering the mobile usage gap. So remember this. And what is the satellite based broadband and why it was in news? The telecom secretary recently stated that Indian users will likely to be able to access satellite based broadband connectivity by the middle of 2023. And what is the satellite based broadband? It is a wireless internet connection which uses satellite in space to get an internet signal from the internet service provider to users. It has 27.5 gigahertz to 29.5 gigahertz frequency band is globally earmarked for satellite communications and telecom companies uses geostationary orbit system and medium earth orbit and low earth orbit satellites to provide internet services. Like here the process of working of the satellite based broadband services. Here this is the satellite and this is the internet provider through the radar system and it is the coming traffic. It transmits the data to the satellite and it transmit to this incoming traffic and it transmit data to the modern satellite modem such as the monitor or computer and this will transfer the GPRS dial-up Ethernet. Okay, and upcoming traffic is here, so remember this process. And advantage of this satellite based broadband, that is low earth orbit, or advantage that is cheaper to make and deploy and move faster and can hence provide global coverage and low latency in signal transmission compared to geostationary or medium earth orbit. And geostationary and medium earth orbit, the serviceable area on earth is more and require fewer ground stations and easier to establish a transmission link with a satellite. And what is the disadvantages of at low earth orbit of the broadband system? To require a satellite constellation working in sync to offer coverage on the earth, and for geostationary and medium earth orbit the larger deployed in higher orbits and therefore cost more and need for a high inclined antenna for locations away from the equator. So remember this. And models for satellite based connectivity include hybrid, that is LPWAN plus satellite on or indirect model. In this each sensor and actuator in a network may communicate with the satellite through an intermediate sync node, that is low power wide area network gateway, and direct to satellite model. It allows devices to directly communicate with the satellite without the need of any intermediate ground gateway. And how is it different from existing broadband services? Aggregation of all of the data generated and transmitted by users accessing the internet happens in the sky or space that is in the satellite. However, in the cellular networks, aggregation happens on the ground in the base station. And to access satellite services, a dish antenna is needed, just like in the case of TV services. So a normal mobile handset cannot directly access satellite broadband. Okay, and initiatives taken by the government of India and ISRO as well as and the private sectors. Indian Satellite Navigation Policy, Satnav Policy 2021, to address the growing demands of space-based navigation and timing applications, and ISRO's initiative, that is along with the Hughes Communications, India has launched a high throughput satellite broadband internet service to connect the remotest corners of India, and launch of satellite-based broadband connectivity for Lakshadweep Islands, and Reliance Jio Bharti Group backed OneWeb and Elon Musk's Starlink are the leading contenders in the race to launch commercial satellite broadband services in India. And next is what are the challenges faced in satellite based broadband? Here the expensive, it is very expensive to create a high broadband networks for satellite system, and cable or fiber internet as complex equipment like satellite dishes being used to avail these services, and weather can affect satellite as weather affects the signal path. Minor changes in weather can have a massive impact on both the speed and latency of satellite, and higher latency and low bandwidth compared to cable and fiber internet. Because of the distance the signal have to travel and all the potential obstacles in between, and privacy issue because of lack of compatibility with virtual private network, that is VPN services that gives online privacy and anonymity by creating a private network from a public internet connection, and others increased space debris, increased risk of collisions, and the concern of astronomers that these constellations of space internet satellites will make it difficult to observe other space objects and to detect their signals. So you can remember this, and what you can conclude this broadband system. Although the satellite broadband industry in India is still as a nascent stage, not a growing stage, whereas the growing demand for connectivity and internet is increasing. The Digital India Drive calls to connect all the unserved terrains, and this is what satellite based broadband can do. And a conducive policy and regulatory environment along with sufficient spectrum allocation, ease of doing business, etc. are of vital importance to tap satellite internet potential. And what is the related news of this spectrum? And another news, that is the growth of commercial low earth orbit economy. Why it is this? The recently OneWeb launched 36 satellites into low earth orbit from ISRO's launch facility in Sriharikota. And low earth orbit is what? It is an orbit at an altitude of less than 1000 km, around 4 to 5 or 300 to 400 km, but could be as low as 160 km above the earth. And objects in low earth orbit are subject to atmospheric drag since they remain within the upper layers of earth's atmosphere, specifically the thermosphere. And significance of the low earth orbit. Low earth orbit satellites have more available routes for satellites in low earth orbit than in other orbits, and used for satellite imaging, as being near the surface allows it to take images of the higher resolution, and used for international space station, as it is easier for astronauts to travel and from it at a shorter distance. And what are the challenges? The popular challenges would be the individual low earth orbit satellite are less useful for tasks such as telecommunication because they move so fast across the sky. Low earth orbit has becoming increasingly congested with space debris. So remember this. And next is the artificial intelligence, that is AI. Why it is in news? That is artificial intelligence is the perennial news around the year. Okay, so it is very important for general studies paper 3. Branch of computer science concerned with making computers mimic human like intelligence. Artificial intelligence enables a machine to perceive and respond to its changing environment and potential to boost national growth rate by 1.3% and add $1 trillion by 2035 to India's economy. And India's strength in artificial intelligence, large young population, emerging startup ecosystem, and India's artificial intelligence for all strategy, India's digital footprint, and types of artificial intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence or weak artificial intelligence. It is refers to the ability of a computer system to perform a narrowly defined task better than a human can. An artificial general intelligence. It refers to the ability of a computer system to outperform humans in any intellectual task. An artificial super intelligence. It it refers to a computer system that would have the ability to outperform humans in almost every field, including scientific creativity, general wisdom, and social skills. So remember this. And what are the benefits and applications of artificial intelligence? Health in healthcare facilities. Artificial intelligence driven diagnostics, early detection, drug research and discovery, and education, automation of repetitive task practices using augmented reality and virtual reality, counseling sessions, evaluation, etc., and application in agriculture, that is in artificial intelligence enabled agricultural robotics, predictive analysis, artificial intelligence for intelligent spraying and manufacturing sector, that is quality checks, prediction of equipment failure, inventory management and real-time changes in supply chain management, and in energy sector, artificial intelligence managed smart grids, anti-theft technologies, fault prediction, energy efficient systems using Alexa, Google Nets, etc. And in financial services, the personalized banking, fraud detection, process automation, and in enforcement for financial recognition, speech recognition, and predictive analysis. And challenges with artificial intelligence. Adverse impact on society. Artificial intelligence works on the already existing set of data, and there are chances of the existing biases to be transferred to the artificial intelligence as well, and lack of accountability and transparency, as it will be difficult to explain on how a decision was made by the artificial intelligence, and ethical concerns related to quality, justice, and human dignity might pop up and infringes intellectual property rights. Many artists have claimed that their artworks were indiscriminately recreated by the artificial intelligence to create its own image rendering. And privacy issues. The use of artificial intelligence can raise concerns about the collection, storage, and use of personal data. And what are the initiatives taken by the government of India? Ministry of Information Technology Future Skills Prime, in collaboration with NASCOM, for reskilling or upskilling of information technology professionals in 10 emerging areas, including artificial intelligence, and national strategy for artificial intelligence. Under this, India is founding member of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence and National Program on Responsible Use of Artificial Intelligence for the youth, for skilling as well as the working employment generation, and National Artificial Intelligence Portal, a repository of artificial intelligence based initiatives and responsible artificial intelligence for social empowerment, that is RAISE in 2020, and technology innovation hubs under national mission on interdisciplinary cyber physical systems. And what are the way forward? Enabling ethical principles and guidelines for the development and deployment of artificial intelligence, Instead of open access, a regulated usage could be introduced and critical information data set can be isolated from the advent of artificial intelligence, and better collaboration and cooperation between government, private, individual, as well as the person in India with different stakeholders including government such as government, industry, academia and civil society. And artificial intelligence systems should be designed and trained on diverse and inclusive data to minimize biasness and ensure equitable outcomes. So remember this about artificial intelligence. And next is the generative artificial intelligence. One news tech companies around the world are harnessing generative artificial intelligence for various use cases, and there has been increasing popularity of generative artificial intelligence programs such as Open Artificial Intelligence, ChatGPT, Google's Bard AI, DALL-E, Codex GPT-3, etc. And these programs are a conversational artificial intelligence language based on deep learning model built on the transfer architecture, and it uses a deep neural network and is trained on corpus of text data from the internet, allowing it to generate human like text and to perform various tasks like question answering and conversation, and it represents a significant advancement in the field of natural language processing and has the potential to revolutionize the way humans interact with the computers. And there are speculations that these platforms can replace Google search and more so humans in the future. With the creation of advanced technology like ChatGPT, and generative artificial intelligence is what it describes algorithms that can be used to create a new content like audio, video, code, images, text, simulations, and it is achieved by training machine learning models on the large amounts of data using neural networks, and then using these models to generate new synthetic data that is similar to the already existing data. And until 2022, the purpose of existing artificial intelligence was to analyze data, spot anomalies, detect fraud, and perhaps make recommendations as movies to watch or best holiday destinations. And however, with generative artificial intelligence, users can witness brand new content being created from scratch. And presently, there are three prominent frameworks or models of generative artificial intelligence like generative adversarial networks, transformer based models, and variational autoencoders, etc. And this is the related terms of the generative artificial intelligence such as large language models. It is a type of artificial intelligence algorithm that uses deep learning techniques. Okay, so remember this. And next is the transformer. It is a two-part neural network. First part is an encoder that ingests the input sentence in the source language, that is for example English, and second is a decoder that generates the translated sentence in the target language such as Hindi and any other language or local language. Decoder generates one word at a time by looking back at the memory band to find the appropriate word. And both these processes use a mechanism called attention. So remember this. On what you can conclude this generative artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a rapidly advancing field with the potential to transform many aspects of our lives and economies. However, to fully realize the benefits of artificial intelligence and avoid negative consequences, it is important to approach its development and deployment with caution and consideration for ethical and social implications. So remember this. And what is the application of health? We have discussed earlier the application of artificial intelligence in various parts of society as well as in various fields such as health, agriculture, and another educations as well. So you can remember this, the applications of artificial intelligence. Next is extended reality. Why is in news? Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Startup Hub and Meta collaborate to accelerate extended reality technology startups in India. What is extended reality? It refers to all real and virtual combined environments and human machine interactions generated by computer technology. And what are the challenges with extended reality? Extended reality technologies collect and process huge amounts personal data which has to be protected. High cost of implementation of the technology and lack of familiarity with navigating the virtual world, and gaps in alignment between assessment method and content being assessed. So remember this. And the extended reality can be included in collective term applied to immersive experiences incorporating varying degrees of digital and real information. And it can be here see that the augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality, these are replaced and extended to the extended reality. And potential of applications of extended reality such as in medicine, train surgeons by enabling interaction with 3D images, and entertainment and gaming industry, sharper simulation and analysis of engineering and manufacturing design, and educational applications via augmented reality and aid remote work. And you can remember the definition of augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. In augmented reality, there is it will perform in the natural as well as virtual world. And mixed reality in virtual as well as natural world. Augmented reality almost 90% works as visual element integrated into the real environment, and virtual reality 100% is virtual, that user is immersed in an interactive digitally generated environment. So it is a not natural or real environment but virtual environment. And augmented reality is not 100% but more than 90% is real environment. And you can conclude about extended reality. The field of extended reality is expanding quickly and presents tremendous potential for innovation and growth. However, there are still concerns to be addressed, such as the high cost of hardware as well as the demand for more high quality immersive content. And nonetheless, the opportunities offered by extended reality technology are enormous, and we can anticipate it to become even more integrated into our daily lives. Next is micro LEDs, that is light emitting diode displays. Why it is in news? Recently, various electronic companies are showing their interest in micro LED or micron LED display technology. What is this about? The micro LED. Micro LED displays comprise several microscopic LEDs which self-illuminate per display pixel an just like an organic LED panel. Micro LED is as small as cutting a centimeter of hair into 200 smaller pieces. So remember this, as small as cutting a centimeter of hair into 200 smaller pieces. So it is very small, or micro is as name suggests. Each of these micro LEDs are semiconductors that receive electric signals, and once these micro LEDs are gathered, they form a model. Several modules are then combined to form screens. So you can see here the micro LED. Okay, 1 out of 100 haircut. Okay, with in the centimeter, and it will perform as the micro level. And what are the benefits of micro LED? Self emissive and have better color reproduction and provide better viewing angles and limitless scalability, as they are resolution free, bezel free, ratio free, and even size free, and more efficient and bright, more durable, and with higher color gamut against LCD and organic LED. And what are the challenges for micro LEDs? Higher manufacturing cost, market share for liquid crystal displays remains sizable. And you can conclude about micro LED, that is, micro LED technology has the potential to revolutionize the display industry, offering superior image quality, energy efficiency, and durability. While there are still several challenges that must be overcome, it is expected that micro LED displays will become increasingly common in the coming year. So you can compare these LEDs and LCD display technology in pixel types. About LCD, liquid crystal display, that is backlit display, and in organic LED, that is self-emissive display, and micro LED self-emissive display. And in LCD, the LED makeup material, the LCD made up of inorganic LED backlight, and organic LED made organic LED, and mixed LED become made from inorganic LED similar to the LCD. And brightness of LCD is high and organic is low, and micro LED is very high, that is extended to the liquid crystal display. And lifespan of LCD is low, and OLED, that is organic LED, is short, and micro LED is very long. And response time is low in case of LCD, medium in case of OLED, and fast in case of micro LED. So remember this. Okay, so you can conclude micro LED technology has the potential to revolutionize the display industry, offering superior image quality, energy efficiency, and durability. While there are still several challenges that must be overcome, it is expected that micro LED displays will become increasingly common in the coming years. So remember this. And next is, what is the supercomputer? Supercomputer is in news because India's artificial intelligence supercomputers Arawat has been ranked 75th in top 500 global supercomputing list, announced at the International Supercomputing Conference held in Germany. Arawat supercomputer at CDAC Pune is India's largest and fastest artificial intelligence supercomputing system, with a remarkable speed of 13,170 teraflops, and it was started as part of the government's national program on artificial intelligence. Another Indian supercomputers in the top 500 list is Param Siddhi Artificial Intelligence, Pratyus, and Mihir. And Frontier from USA is the fastest supercomputer. And what is this supercomputer? A high performance computing system that delivers exceptional processing power and computational capacity compared to a general purpose computer. And performance of a supercomputer is measured in floating point operations per second instead of million instructions per second. And supercomputers contain tens of thousands of processors and can perform billions and trillions of calculations or computations per second. And indigenous development of supercomputers began in 1980. India's first supercomputer Perm 8000 was set in 1991. And what are the applications of supercomputers? Cutting edge research such as for data intensive and computation heavy scientific and engineering purposes such as quantum mechanics, weather forecasting, etc. And aerospace and engineering, processing complex algorithms and big data for sensors around the performance of aircraft and the environments they operate in. And artificial intelligence, ChatGPT was trained on a supercomputer built exclusively for OpenAI by Microsoft. And weather forecasting, for example, Pratyush supercomputer at Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology IITM Pune. Energy exploration, supercomputers help to detect and accelerate deeper geological insights, hence improve the exploration and producing processes. And health and medicine, to help make a drug that could work against the COVID-19, supercomputers were employed to look through databases of existing drug compounds. And defense and military, applications of supercomputers related to national security, including nuclear weapons design and cryptography. It helps simulate complex weapons systems. And these are the challenges of supercomputers, such as massive external storage drives whose bandwidth is fast enough to accommodate the data being analyzed. They are extremely costly, including huge operational costs, and consume large amount of electricity. On average, a supercomputer requires about 4 megawatts of electricity. And supercomputer systems are built by connecting multiple processing units and can require large rooms to store them. So remember this. And you can conclude this about supercomputer. Thus, countries around the world, including India, have been ramping up supercomputing capabilities over the past few years. And for India to become a knowledge-driven multi-trillion-dollar economy, which is able to support cutting-edge science to benefit its economy, its society, and the business, investment in supercomputing is a necessity. So remember this. And next is the data center. What is data center? A dedicated secure space within a building or centralized location where computing and networking equipment is concentrated for collecting, storing, processing, distributing, etc. to large amounts of data. And key selection criteria of data center, such as geographical location, favorable climate condition, availability of power, proximity to customers, fiber connectivity, and real estate costs. And types of data centers: captive, colocation, hyperscale, and edge. These are four types of data center. Under captive data center, the company owned and operated. And colocation, rental of data center space with basic power. And hyperscale data center is owned and operated by cloud service providers. And edge data center is a small data center facilities. As per NASCOM, India is expected to see investments of around $4.5 billion by 2025. And demand drivers in India include push to digital India, COVID-19 included induced demand, fairly stable geography, improved fiber connectivity, growing IT sector, adoption of cloud services, etc. And what are the importance of data centers for India? Size of digital economy. India is estimated to grow from $200 billion in 2017-18 to 1 trillion by 2025 in terms of the digital economy of data centers. And data, because of data center and data localization provisions, presence of domestic data centers will allow companies to store critical personal data and sensitive personal information of Indian citizens within India and a high growth potential. India's data center market is set to play a key role in job creation, bring in foreign investment, and contribute to growth of the country's economy and meeting digital demands of explosion of data through smartphones, local networking sites, e-commerce, digital education, and digital payments, and suitability for emerging technologies such as quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things, etc. And what are the challenges in establishing data centers in India? Lack of a data protection bill will make some stakeholders, especially investors from overseas, hesitant to invest, and locational constraints, skill availability for advanced data center construction and design, delay in approvals, power and land constraints, and high power consumption by data transmission networks, and global pressure to reduce carbon emissions, and security threats from physical damages, safety of infrastructure, information technology infrastructure from attacks, Department of Data Space attacks, web application attacks, DNS infrastructure exploits, and network vulnerabilities. So remember this. And initiatives taken in India about data centers. Draft data center policy by Ministry of Information and Technology to accelerate the growth in the projected data center. National Informatics Center has set up state-of-the-art national data center at National Informatics Center headquarters in New Delhi, Pune, Hyderabad, and Bhubaneswar. An infrastructure status to data centers with more than 5 megawatt capacity of IT load. National Informatics Center has also set up small data centers at various state capitals to provide services to government at all levels, and states like Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have released their own data center policy. And what is the way forward? Draft Data Center Policy 2020 proposes following strategies: ease of doing business ecosystem, infrastructure status to data center sector, formulation of data center incentivization schemes, and recognize data center as a separate category under National Building Code. And government to set up at least 4 data center economic zones in the country as a central sector scheme, and collaborate with Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship and leading academic institutes to impart large scale trainings to workforce on data center, digital and cloud technologies. So remember this. Next is the geospatial technology. Why it is in news? The geospatial technology is the memorandum of understanding between ISRO as well as NASA to launch the geospatial technology in India recently. Geospatial technology includes geographic information system, remote sensing, and global positioning system. It enables acquiring Earth reference data and using it for analysis and modeling simultaneous and visualization would be it would be central to information management in India for great social as well as national relevance. An application of geospatial technology, disaster risk reduction and resilience, social development, granting land title, satellite based fishing, precision agriculture, monitoring of crop conditions, and energy, finding suitability of a location for generating solar energy, and connectivity about road asset management system, accurate and scientific maintenance planning, and planned development of the national highways, and natural resource management, water resource, land use management, geophysical data products, and informed decision making. So you can remember this. And what are the challenges in effective use of geospatial technology? Technological and infrastructure challenges: lack of supercomputing and quantum computing capabilities, limited accessibility of space derived data to the private sector and individuals is limited, and digital technological divide and lack of data privacy law. So these are some challenges related to data geospatial technology in India. And what is the GIS based initiative? Geographical Information System based initiatives, natural resource information systems to provide an integrated database for the use of remotely sensed data and national spatial data infrastructure. It will enhance the accessibility, communication, and use of geospatial data and national urban information system. Under this, it is a national mission for generation of 1 is to 10,000 scale urban geospatial database for 152 towns. And what is the way forward? To invest in national experts for building geospatial applications. The geospatial data can be used and integrate ground and space data, crossover data with geo-referenced tags and statistical processing, and ensure privacy. It ensures privacy, safety, and ethics of data by obtaining informed consent whenever possible, and provide open data access by making use of cloud-based platforms and collaborate across local and international levels. So you can remember. And next is the National Geospatial Policy 2022 related to geospatial technology. Recently, Ministry of Science and Technology has notified a citizen-centric National Geospatial Policy 2022 to strengthen the geospatial sector to support national development. And vision and goal of this uh, policy, National Geospatial Policy, make India a global leader in global geospatial space with the best in the class ecosystem for innovation, and integrated policy to leverage it to move towards a digital economy and improve services to citizens, and better utilization of data to enable easy availability to businesses and the public, encouraging participation of private sector. Okay, so term using and developing geospatial national geospatial policy for 2025 2030 2035. So under 25, the target in geospatial data, put in place an enabling policy and legal framework that supports the liberalization of the geospatial sector, and it is a high accuracy geoid for the entire country. So remember this, and target under 2030, high resolution topographical survey and mapping, high accuracy digital elevation model for the entire country, and develop a geospatial knowledge infrastructure underpinned by integrated data and information framework. And under the target by 2035, high resolution bathymetric geospatial data of inland waters and sea surface topography of shallow seas to support blue economy, a national digital twin of major cities and towns. The digital twin is a virtual replica of a physical asset, process, or service. So these are the some target related to national geospatial policy. And what is the institutional framework? Geospatial Data Promotion and Development Council or Committee, national level apex body. It is a national level apex body for formulating and implementing appropriate guidelines, strategies, and programs. A Geospatial Data Promotion and Developmental Committee would replace National Spatial Data Committee and Geospatial Data Promotion and Developmental Committee. A Department of Science and Technology, it is nodal department, and GDPDC shall make suitable recommendations to Department of Science and Technology, and strengthening geospatial infrastructure. Geospatial data infrastructure. The GDPDC will adopt 14 global geospatial data themes recognized by United Nations Statistics Division, National Geospatial Data Registry, and Unified Geospatial Interface to provide consumer-oriented and products, applications, services, and solutions. And policy shall replace the National Map Policy 2005, and geospatial knowledge infrastructure will provide the critical geospatial component to knowledge and automation, and enabling ecosystem will be provided for industry, academia, and research. Advisory body named as Geospatial Industrial Development Board will be constituted under GDPDC. And what is the you can conclude the National Geospatial Policy. The next 5 to 10 years will see significant developments in the maturity and application of already well-established technologies across the geospatial industry, and governments continue to remain highly relevant in the geospatial industry, and it will need to take account of and consider responses to these emerging legal and policy top trends. So remember about this National Geospatial Policy and strategies of this policy for Atmanirbhar Bharat, an integrated geospatial information framework and data and information communications technology infrastructure for building on the existing data holdings and ICT infrastructure and innovation. Policy will enable and support innovation, creation, and incubation of the ideas and startup initiatives in the geospatial sector. And standards, the policy will encourage open standards, open data, and platforms. So you can remember this about geospatial technology or National Geospatial Policy 2022 adopted by the Government of India. So here I will end the lecture, and next lecture will be third lecture, which can be delivered tomorrow as well as the next day. So keep watching, subscribe this channel, and like and hit the bell icon. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.